This is Democratic Congresswoman Karen Bass from California. She's also a member of the House Budget Committee. Congresswoman, it's nice to see you, and I want to start out with the sequester defense cuts. Defense Secretary Leon Panetta is on the record saying that it would be irresponsible for Congress to allow those $50 billion in cuts to go through. Is the Defense Secretary wrong, or are Democrats more concerned with the Republican alternative to that?
Well, Democrats are definitely more concerned with the Republican alternative to that, Tom, and I appreciate that question. You know, when you're talking about cutting Meals on Wheels, when you're talking about cutting food stamps, which actually is money that goes directly to small businesses, markets, in communities, versus giving tax subsidies to farming corporations, these are the type of cuts that the Republicans are talking about, and I think that that's completely unacceptable in this time period.
So how do you defend, though, the criticism against your party and some would say that the Democrats would be moaning or they're groaning over the GOP budget, but yet Democrats have yet to bring a budget to the floor themselves? How can you defend and how can you say that there isn't a sense of responsibility from the Democratic side for that?
Well, I do think that the Democrats have been very responsible. The president has put forward a budget that I certainly support. And then over this time, the Democrats have proposed, even though it's been very difficult, to go along with deep cuts. The difference is that the Democrats believe in a balanced approach. And unfortunately, my Republican colleagues do not believe in a balanced approach. They want to undo the sequestering only on part of the budget. And clearly, all of the cuts that they are proposing impact the most vulnerable. So I'm wearing this blue ribbon today because it's foster care month. If we went along with some of the cuts that the Republicans are calling for, we would negatively impact foster care. So while states are trying to come out of the economic crisis, the cuts that the Republicans are calling for would put an extreme burden on states. And cutting money to foster care during foster care month, can't go with that.
All right, so I need to switch gears really quickly, though, with you to talk about the student loan debate, because when it comes to freezing the interest rate, how far are Democrats willing to go to compromise on this one? Is the Republican plan to pay for it by cutting an Obama health care program completely off the table? Where can everybody come to consensus on it?
Well, you know, I think it's completely unacceptable to tell the youth of our country that if you don't want your student loans to double, then you need to forego your cancer screening. I mean, essentially, if you cut the preventive health services in the Health Care Reform Act, you're telling students to make a choice, just like we're telling seniors to make a choice between whether or not you pay for your medication or whether you pay for food. These are choices that are just not acceptable, and I do believe that the Democrats in the Senate have an acceptable alternative. And I'm hoping that it passes out and can come to our House and we can be responsible to the next generation.
Congresswoman Bass, thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thanks.